Welcome back to Kawartha Backyard Farms, all you gorgeous garden gnomes. If you watched my last tomato trellis video, you'll know that this is take two. The first design looked good, but it had two major problems. One, it was too tall, and I didn't anchor it into the ground. It only took one good windstorm before the whole thing tipped over. Luckily, there's still lots of split rails laying around, so today I'm rebuilding the trellis with a simpler, stronger design. The first step is cutting the rails down to about 7 feet long. The last trellis was taller than it needed to be. Once tomatoes reach the top, they become difficult to prune, tie up, and harvest. By shortening the rails, I'll end up with a trellis that's around 6 feet tall after it's buried, which is much more practical. Cedar is also a great material for projects like this because it's naturally rot resistant and should last for years outdoors. I'm crossing two rails together about a foot from the top and fastening them with screws. That leaves enough room above the joint to support the horizontal crossbeam. These rails aren't perfectly straight, but that doesn't really matter. This is a working garden, not a showroom, and sometimes using reclaimed materials is the best option. If I can build something sturdy using materials I already have, that's a win. Now comes the biggest improvement over the first version. Instead of just setting the supports on the ground, I'm digging holes so each leg sits securely in the soil. This should make a huge difference once these tomato plants are loaded with fruit. Mature tomatoes are surprisingly heavy, and when you combine that with wind, there's a lot of force pushing against the trellis. Taking a few extra minutes now should save me from rebuilding it again later. Once the holes are dug, I can stand the first support up with one leg in each hole. It already feels much more stable than the original design. I'll repeat the same process for the second support on the other side of the row. With both supports standing, it's time to install the crossbeam. This ties everything together and gives me a solid place to hang twine for each tomato plant. Growing tomatoes vertically has a lot of advantages. It improves airflow, keeps foliage off the ground, makes pruning easier, and makes harvesting much simpler when the fruit is easy to see. It also helps me fit more plants into the space without everything becoming a tangled mess. I'm really hoping this version holds up much better than the first one. It's shorter, it's anchored into the ground, and it should be able to handle both the weight of the tomatoes and whatever weather the summer throws at it. One thing I love about sharing these projects is that you get to see the entire process, not just the successes. Sometimes things don't work the first time, and that's okay. Every project teaches you something that makes the next version better. I'll keep you updated throughout the season so we can see how this trellis performs once the tomatoes really start taking off. If you've built your own tomato trellis, let me know what design has worked best for you. I'm always looking for new ideas, and your suggestions might end up inspiring next year's build. Now, let's get these tomatoes tied up and growing.